What was your school's huge scandal? Hi Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will stop the video here. The assistant principal died in a car accident. There was a big, somber school assembly in his honor. His wife said a few words, and then his 14-year-old daughter came to the microphone to say a few words. She sort of snapped and unloaded about how he was not a good guy. He was a monster who had been abusing her and her little sisters and using them for killing for years, and she was glad he was dead. I've never heard a room full of people grow so silent, so fast. Well, that took a turn. Everyone's favorite teacher was in fact banging that student he always hung out with, who would sit in his lap and would visit him after she graduated. They could not have been any more obvious. She sat on his lap at school in front of people. How is that allowed? It isn't, but surprisingly doesn't get talked about. It's a clear sign that something inappropriate is happening, but it is hardly ever reported. My high school district's superintendent hired a relative who wasn't qualified for the job, increased the salary of administrators every year, used the district's credit card to buy meals, groceries, gas, personal electronics, and gift cards. When the state audit went through, they said that the overpay of administrators and the personal spending cost the school district around $1.1 million. Her husband was also an administrator. When she eventually got caught, she just retired and for some reason never faced federal charges. When she retired, she had a $260,518 salary. My favorite part is that the state audit discovered that the district's credit card was used to purchase logging equipment the same month the superintendent's husband filed paperwork to open a timber company. Everyone knew there was corruption in the school district, but no audits or investigations happened until someone was threatened by the superintendent's husband on Facebook. The caretaker killed 2 local girls and hid them in the school. He tried using the clay kiln to burn them. He later dumped them a few miles away. Oh, I lived in the UK when that happened. We had literally just moved there. It was very sad. Didn't he get in the news looking for them? His girlfriend was shady too. I don't care who you are to me. If you kill a couple of kids, I'm going straight to the police. It was sad. He did, and that was what aroused suspicion. There was something that came out about their history too. It turned out the girlfriend, Maxine Carr, knew nothing. She wasn't there. But she did, incredibly stupidly, claim she was to give him an alibi when he asked her to. When it all came out, she pleaded guilty to perverting the course of justice, but was cleared of aiding an offender. It was a tragedy for her too. She was a teacher's assistant and the girls, Holly and Jessica Chapman, had come to visit her unannounced. She was out and the boyfriend, Ian Huntley, abducted and murdered them. How do you live with the guilt of that? She was given a new identity after being released, because a lot of people blamed her for the murders, and has dropped out of public view. The last news was that she had a child, because the order banning her identity being revealed was extended to it too. She deserves to live her life in peace. It's been hard enough on her. My high school guidance counselor fricked a science teacher's wife and everyone knew about it. They got a divorce. Both teachers still work at the same school to this day, and students will never ever let it go. The story has been handed down from year to year. So it is written. So it is told. So let it be written. So let it be done. LOL. That's pretty ballsy to just not give a frick and stay on. A girl died in the pool during an event at the school. The swim teacher was blamed and was prosecuted. The girl who died was at my sister's class. Both were 7 at the time. That happened over 10 years ago, but the parents haven't had another child since. She was their only kid. Oh gosh, that is heartbreaking. So many of these other stories are gross or funny, but this one, oh that pool family. A girl in my year was run over by her bus with her mum watching. She was 6. It was heartbreaking. I went to a small Christian high school that also had a middle and elementary school on the grounds. The principal of the high school had a child that was in my grade. One day he comes over the intercom and announces that he's stepping down from his position. He then goes on to talk about how he and the female gym coach had been having an emotional affair for the last few months. This announcement goes through every speaker in all 3 schools. I remember everyone in my class looking over at his daughter, who had a complete surprise on her face. From what I gathered, this was the first time she was hearing about all of this. Shortly after, the gym teacher also left her position. But the most interesting part? The gym teacher had no idea this was going on. She was just doing her job and thought she was friends with everyone. The principal read more into their relationship and decided to go to the church with it, and they made this decision. The gym teacher left her job out of shame and had to spend a lot of time explaining to her husband what exactly was going on. The poor gym teacher. Yup, her and her husband ended up moving pretty shortly after to protect her. That is creepy. I feel so bad for the gym teacher. Someone spread photos of naked female students, which forced some of them to drop out. This happened at my school, and one girl actually printed out photos of another girl and put them on all of the windshields in the student parking lots. Kids are so freaking cruel. I hope that girl gets her sweet karma. This was a big issue at a school where I used to live. The local police started busting people. They had a big shared drive or something, and a lot of people would post to it. My high school had some fights that for some reason managed to make the local news, and the principal's words about it were broadcasted as well. She was pissed and talked loudly in a passive-aggressive manner over the announcements the next morning, repeating our school's mission statement over and over, ending the broadcast with record that became a bit of a meme around the school after that, and the school seems to have lightened up about the situation since, because the journalism team's shirts have record that written across the back. Ugh, my mum was a principal of a school where this happened. The story was run as the school having a fight club on a sensationalist TV program masquerading as news, with the 10 seconds of mobile phone footage played on loop after loop. What had happened is that some kids got into a fight in a park, and someone had got a shaky video and put it on MySpace, where it slightly blew up, then got picked up. My mum was livid, because she was turning the school's reputation around. The assistant principal was embezzling money. It promptly started a hashtag. 5 or so guys got caught smoking synthetic weed, the kind that utterly reeks and will frick you up internally, in the school toilet right next to the biology rooms, where the biology teacher had just got out of being a drug officer in the Met. When asked if they smoked cannabis in the toilets, apparently one of them, he was new to the school and didn't speak much English, said, "No, I only smoked weed." "Do you have any illicit paraphernalia on your person?" "No, just some drugs." We had 2 teachers arrested for secretly recording kids and separate incidents. Our woodshop teacher had a low-angle camera on the floor pointing up towards the seats, and also would slide an iPad out from under his desk when girls would walk up to it. He let a student borrow his flash drive, who found the evidence. Then our speech teacher was caught hiding a camera underneath the sink in one of the private bathrooms that special education used. Second one is in a whole new zip code of screwed up. Unfortunately, the mentally disabled are disproportionately targeted for abuse. Our science teacher sat the girls with the largest boobs in the front row. I was in the back. In this instance, that definitely sounds like a good thing. Someone spray painted as a kiddie diddler, "Ask" on the wall of the school. Everyone saw it when they showed up. The teacher was nowhere to be found that day. The girl was also nowhere to be found. I remember it was a Friday, cause the day was crazy with people talking about it, but it sort of died down on the weekend. Monday we find out the guy killed himself that weekend. Later, talking to the girl, sadly it was very true. Others came forward later. It was a pretty itty situation. Holy frick. Holy frick indeed. I was sexually assaulted by a teacher at age 13. I knew of a couple of other girls had also been molested by the guy. None of us ever came forward at the time. 1976. Someone created a fake Facebook profile for our principal. He was commenting realistically on teachers' pages, but the context never lined up. "Nice to see you last weekend, Ms. Brown." Then once he had everyone as friends, he started simply roasting kids up. He accessed the account from the computer lab and was never caught. He was my friend's brother. This is actually genius. Just picturing some high school kid with a status like just got a solo squad victory in Fortnite, with the principal promptly commenting LOL you suck. Some guy jokingly wrote if I won't get a B for this I'm going on a rampage on his English test. Fast forward 15 minutes, a police response unit of 12 stormed the classroom and freaking arrested the 8 out of him, without being brutal, but it still was quite frightening for deterrence reasons I guess. Did he get a B? He's still in prison and now is a B. How the turntables. Fast forward 15 minutes, a police response unit of 12 stormed the classroom and freaking, this is going to get intense. Freaking arrested the 8 out of him. Oh. A girl in my year lied about having a sexual relationship with a teacher, in gross detail might I add. We all knew that she was straight up crazy and was making it up, but the school board obviously had to take it very seriously and the teacher was fired. Worst part was that the teacher's wife was also a teacher at the school, and so, even though she wasn't fired, she pretty much had to leave her job as well. The school board eventually figured out the girl was lying and offered both teachers their positions back, but they both declined. Pool teachers. Do you know what's up with them now? No, that was back in 11th grade and I'm a junior in college now. I hope they found a job at a new school, because word all around was that they were really great teachers and my high school probably didn't pay them anywhere close to enough. I hope the lying girl got punished. You can't let fakers get away with destroying leaves. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will stop the video here.